Hi, this is Margaret Thompson, and this is my organizational diagnostics project for MBA 513 Organizational Behavior. For this project, I have chosen the organization of St. Francis University Athletics. During this presentation, I will be giving everyone an introduction, the methods I use to perform this project, the results and outcomes of the project, my recommendations for the organization, and a brief conclusion. For the introduction, St. Francis University Athletics has approximately 110 employees, give or take, because there is a large turnover rate given the amount of graduate assistants and young staff that we currently employ. Our location is 140 Lakeview Drive, Loretto, PA. We are located on the St. Francis University campus. St. Francis University Athletics serves athletes, recruits, and parents, as well as the NCAA, the Northeast Conference, the Atlantic 10, and many other organizations. SFU Athletics also serves the student body population at St. Francis because we do host many events in our gym and we do fund many different activities on campus. Our vision statement is the St. Francis University Athletic Department will be known as one of the premier athletic departments in the country, embracing Christ-led leadership while being recognized for outstanding student athletes, representing the highest level of commitment to their spirituality, academics, and athletics. The St. Francis University Athletic Mission Statement is the St. Francis Athletics Program is an integral part of the university's Student Development Division and the mission of the university. The athletics program strives to provide transformational experiences for students and staff in the environment where the guiding principles are the teachings of Jesus Christ and St. Francis of Assisi, as well as the goals of Franciscan higher education within the Catholic tradition and foundations of education. The value of diversity is embraced by our students and staff while creating a program where all are able to grow academically, athletically, and spiritually with a focus on student-athlete well-being and a commitment to service. Striving for excellence in competition, St. Francis student-athletes, coaches, and staff promote the principles of good sportsmanship and ethical conduct within the spirit and intent of all applicable rules of the NCAA, Northeast Conference, the Atlantic 10 Conference, the Eastern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association, and St. Francis University. It is also important to note that student athletes at St. Francis make up approximately 50 to 60% of the student body. For my professional background, it's important to note that I'm the Athletics Administration Graduate Assistant. I've had this position since August of last year, and my contract expires this Wednesday. The classes I've taken prior to this that have guided me and have helped me in regards to my preparation for this project would be gender and leadership, and then this class, organizational behavior. For this project, I obtained permission from my supervisor to perform this project in our department. I distributed surveys and I gathered the results. Who was interviewed? I interviewed 10 people from the department. I interviewed men and women, coaches, and those of the administration and communication staff. I also interviewed graduate assistants as well, and I tried to get a spread in different people from different backgrounds and different areas of the department. There were 10 people interviewed, as I previously stated, and then the survey was administered by me sending out a PDF file through an email, and then I allowed the participants to respond at their own pace, and they would turn in the PDF. They would print it out and return it to me during my working hours. For the descriptive statistics, as I mentioned before, I tried to get a wide range of participants in my survey. I interviewed a staff member who has been with us for 3 months, and I've also interviewed a staff member who has been with us for approximately 20 years. I interviewed both coaches in administration, and I also interviewed a graduate assistant. I interviewed those who are unpaid, such as myself and the graduate assistant, as I mentioned, and I also interviewed those who make a substantial salary. For the results and the interpretation and diagnosis and the 7 variables measured, as you can see, I measured the purpose, the structure, the rewards, helpful mechanisms, relationships, leadership, and the attitude towards change. As you can see, our organization has a strong purpose, and we structure our work accordingly to departments. It's important to note that our department is 110, give or take, strong, but we do break down into sub-departments such as administration, communications, compliance, etc., which really does help us focus on our work at hand and get our work done in the most efficient manner possible. We do have a strong sense of leadership, and we do have a good sense of relationships within the department. Although it is a large department, we manage to all feel like one big family. We get along very well. And then we have helpful mechanisms. However, as you can see, in regards to rewards and incentives, we do have a slight issue. And then in regards to our attitudes towards change, we have a little more severe of an issue as well. So my recommendation for the organization would to be focus on rewarding and giving awards to those who need them, and also bring awareness to the benefits of change. I think in regards to rewards and being rewarding, we do currently have a monthly meeting with our departmental staff, and we do become that someone in appreciations at the end where we recognize those who have really done something for the organization within the past month. However, I think that we need to increase these appreciations and possibly have different incentives for employees, such as if a coach brings in X amount of recruits, they should be rewarded an extra X amount of dollars in their budget to spend elsewhere. Or if it's a graduate assistant, if a graduate assistant really goes above and beyond what they are to do in their work for that week, I think it would be possible to give them an extra half an hour lunch break. As much as that doesn't sound like it could be a reward, given how much we do work and the odd hours that we do have to put in, that would be something that would be really rewarding for us. In regards to change, it seems that we are a little outdated in our ways, especially in regards to technology. This could be that in our administration staff or those in administration positions are a little older and they are resistant to the change in technology. But that is something that we really are lacking, and it could be a budget issue. Our budget is constrained because we are not bringing in as many recruits as we had previously hoped. But I definitely think we need to start thinking about change in not only technology, but change in the way that we approach our fundraising and the way that we approach different issues within the organization. And I think that I am starting to see a trend where we are starting to implement more changes, but I do also see the resistance and the pushback where we're afraid to spend the money to make the change in the fear that we will not see the results. And again, I think this is related to the budget issues. However, we are reaching out and we are trying to fundraise. We do have the blueprints drawn up for a new stadium, a few new facilities. So I do see some change coming, and I just think that if we could fundraise some more, or if we could perhaps have a class on how to properly use new technology, this could really kickstart and jumpstart our changes. So I hope that I can take these recommendations back to my organization before I leave on Wednesday, and I do believe I am going to be able to speak a little bit about this to my organization, because we do take exit surveys as we finish up our graduate assistant positions, and I'm very excited to share what I have found through this process with my superiors. And overall, I believe this was a very beneficial project to have completed.